The Whāki podcast invites you and people from all walks of life to converse about various access to equity within the context of Aotearoa. We invite people like yourself and guests to share their lived experience in an effort to identify common threads within support systems, social networks, and knowledge that uplifts the collective human experience.
In season 1, we are focusing on one particular question throughout the whole season, and this question is, what does equity and support look like for various communities coexisting within one society?
Whoop, whoop. And today we have the mighty... Actually, I'll let you introduce yourself because I don't want to put anything on, I don't want to put any expectations or pressure on you. So I'm like, how would you introduce yourself after the words I am?
Well, you already did when you said mighty, and I'm like, damn it, I have to live up to this.
See, I knew it. What is?
So introduce yourself and your pronouns.
Kia ora, ko Benny Ingoa. I am he, him, his.
Yes.
I'm Cook Island-Maori playwright, actor, director. Yep.
Human.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
When it's convenient.
Just spirit being like species. All right. And tell us about the different communities and community that you belong to. So time is not limited to just the now. Like you can throw it all the way back to your preschool days, or high school's definitely one of those times, or even just political, social, or cultural. Jump in the deep end. What are all the different communities that you're attached to?
Okay. Well, first off, I am Cook Island-Maori, so I belong to that community.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a part of HAMSIA, the Hamilton Cook Island Association.
Man, shout out to them.
Cho. And through them, I am connected to our father, to God. So that is, I guess, that part of me. The other part, the equal part of me, is the creative community, which I love with everything. I love being a part of this world here in this region where I get to create and experience other people's creations and converse with other artists, other facilitators about art. So, yeah, that is me. I'm unbelievably awkward. I'm so sorry.
Don't apologize.
Most of my any lengthy thing I will say, I just warn you, will end with, and yep, that's pretty much me.
So is that your disclaimer, is it?
Yeah, I'm just going to trail off.
And zone out.
And fade out. Insane.
Yeah. All right, well, tell us how you got into the creative community. Because I guess you were born into the Cook Island-Maori community. Yeah. But tell us what was your plug into the creative community?
It was always sort of, I've always been interested in drama. I love the performing side, but I loved at high school mostly writing. And we'd be in a group situation and they'd say, oh, we've got this idea. I'm like, cool, I'm going to write it. And it was there where I was like, oh, maybe this is something I should, I don't know, look at, maybe. But then I did my first amateur musical at Rivoli. Shout out to Rivoli. And I met so many people there who are still in my life now, and that was 16 years ago. And it all just kind of grew from there. I just suddenly met all these people in different kind of theatre circles. and then I got the opportunity to write small things for kind of compilation anthology plays, and then this whole time just being encouraged by my friends, by the people in this community to continue creating. Sorry, I think I'm just going through like a general history of me writing and stuff. But I guess fast forward to now where all of these people who I creatively grew up with are now the decision makers, are now people in the community who are actively working to enrich and empower, 15-year-old me, which I think is cool. One person is Jeremy Mail. He's someone
He's cool, man.
who is a dear friend of mine, but like actively works to empower creatives. He certainly gives me as many opportunities as I will, as he can. But yeah, he's a prime example of someone who I've grown up with, creatively adjacent. I'm making hand signals, and then I realize like this is a podcast, so no one can see what I'm doing.
That's all right. We can see you. We see you.
We see you.
I'm still doing it. But yeah, I guess that was sort of my TLDR. I did a cool couple shows at Rivoli, and people said, "Hey, you're really good," and here I am.
No, that's cool. And then wait, so what did support, because I feel like you already touched base a little bit around what support looked like for when you started compared to what it is now with Jeremy being in, what's it, Creative Waikato, right? Yeah. And he's just basically acing that role and creating so many, like opening gates for a lot of different creatives within the Waikato region. But what did support look like at the beginning of your journey?
I didn't feel... and I guess that might have been because I was unaware, maybe, but I didn't feel like there was this part of me that was supported. This, I mean, organ well to like be in the background doing some lifts and singing and dancing and acting, which is fun, which is cool. But for someone who wanted to create, I didn't feel like there was an opportunity to do that. And kind of fast forwarding to now, where a lot of what I want to do as the co-founder of a theatre company is uplift and encourage POC students to create their own stories and not just live in other people's. So I like to think that I'm someone that has looked at what opportunities I had and said, I want this version of me to be able to offer better opportunities for especially young POC creators who don't really have an opportunity. And there was a play, which I'm not going to name. There was a play on, and a couple of students came. They were Maori and Pasifika. They came along, and I talked to them, and they were like, "Oh, that was really cool." It's like, "Awesome." Yeah, it's like, "Yeah, I really love this playwright," and I was like, "Cool." And this is gonna sound super dramatic, but just bear with me.
Go there.
So I grabbed one of the programs and I flicked it to like headshots. Like, cool. Do you see anything? They're like, what do you see when you look at all these photos? And they were like, yeah. I was like, yeah. Where we may enjoy, for example, Shakespeare.
Mm.
We might be allowed to like Shakespeare, but we're not made to feel like Shakespeare's for us. And that's something I kind of wanted to, that I said. I was like, just bluntly, this writer hasn't written for us. We can stage his or her works, but at the end of the day, these characters aren't cast with us in mind. Because I swear to God himself, if anyone else offers me the role of security guard one more fucking
You can go there, bro.
one
Go
more
on.
fucking time.
Yeah. This is called the fuck you. So
Oh my fucking God.
fuck you to security guards as a role for you.
Oh, okay, this is just
Go
a
there.
tangent to a
Go-
wild
no,
story.
we are going there.
I got a phone call from a filmmaker who is talented.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Oh, hey, I got your number." He messaged me on Facebook, and he was like, so I gave him my number. He was like, "Oh, cool, thanks." And I kind of knew the project that he was doing. I was like, "Cool." He was like, "Yeah, I'm working on this really cool project. There's the premise." I was like, "Yeah, no, and I've heard about it. A friend of mine was working on it." And they were like, "Oh, yeah, no, she's really cool. So like, we've got this really cool part." I was like, "Oh yeah?" I was like, "Yeah, so the villain of this piece is this like really cool guy. He's this, he's this, he's this." I was like, "Man, that's so cool." He's like, "Yeah." And so he has these like henchmen who are, sort of his like go-tos. It's like, as the conversation keeps going, I'm like, "Oh no." So yeah. And he was like, "Yeah, so there aren't a whole lot of lines." I was like, okay. He's like, yeah. And I was like a security guard. "Oh, yeah, kinda, yeah. And I was like, okay. At the beginning of this conversation, I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm so keen. That'd be awesome. That'd be so wicked." By now, I'm like, hold on, I've got to look at my calendar. Oh, damn it, I'm working all that weekend. No, I can't get it off for an all-day night shoot. Man, I'm so sorry. Good luck, though. And he was like, oh, sucks. Because what about you? And you've got another friend who's big and brown? Yeah. I was like, yeah. No, he's in South America, so soz. And I was like, "You're a fuckwit." Fuckwit. And so, like, at that moment, I was like, "Okay, no, sorry, I'm busy. Bye." Which is, like, no disrespect, no shade to him. He's wanting to create himself, and that's wicked. But my personal, what I believe in myself is that I do not want to play these roles. I do not want to be subservient to another white man.
Yeah.
And it's totally your choice too.
Oh my gosh, this guy. Like 100% super ambitious. His film comes out soon with his henchman. And it was there where I was like, I don't want to this to be those kids. So I was talking to these kids. Incidentally, one of the kids I was talking to ended up playing one of the henchmen because he's like, "Oh, this is so cool. I get to be in a movie." And I was like, "That's wicked. That's so cool."
Awkward.
But it was like his
Breakthrough.
first movie. He was really stoked. And I was like, I can do nothing but encourage.
Yeah.
Because he's doing stuff. It's just for me, personally, I have creatively and personally gotten to a point where I don't want that. That's not something I want for myself. But again, it's not to say that this is an awesome thing for someone else.
Cool.
Just not me.
No, I definitely hear support on that as well. Like, I feel like, in a way, I hear that your personal growth and your personal journey isn't going to affect somebody else's joy or somebody else's enlightenment and actually get, because I feel like people who fit the hunchman role probably do not get casted as anything else but the hunchman role. So in a way, I feel like that's the catch-22 of the industry, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
A little bit. And it's not until like you either start creating your own content, or you have someone take risks. And I want to be that person. And I like to think I am that person. I once populated an entire cast of a Shakespeare play with Maori and Pasifika performers.
Yes.
Because I was like, I want the kid version of me in the audience to look up on stage and to see these beautiful brown faces that look like theirs saying these words that they don't quite understand yet. And that's what I wanted. So I went to my friends who I knew performed, musician friends who was like, if you can sing on stage, then you can do Shakespeare. If you can do kapahaka, you can do Shakespeare. If you can do hula and drum, you can do Shakespeare. And it was awesome. It was awesome being able to get these really cool people and get this really cool cast together. And not all of them were at the same sort of like experience level. For some of them was their first time doing Shakespeare. For some of them was their first time on stage.
That's beautiful.
It was wicked because I got to be a part of all these people's growths, but also have this really cool show with all of these beautiful brown people. So yeah, yes, TLDR, I want to be that person who contributes in that way, to uplift, to encourage, to get 15-year-old me a role in something that challenges him or her or them.
That isn't a security guard.
Oh, it's fucking security guard, cuz.
Going back to that story that you shared, I'm curious, and this might be coming from a place of privilege, and I'm aware of this. Why don't you feel like you had to apologize or make yourself unavailable rather than just saying no?
Yeah, it was comfort. It was more like, I don't want you to know how I actually feel about this. How insulted as a creative, because you clearly, it's gonna sound awful.
No, just go there.
Like, you don't know who I am. Was that the kind of thing? It's like, you have no idea who I am. You just saw a big brown, cool, he'll do it. You don't know that I've been writing for however many years. I've been actively involved in this community for however many years. All you saw was big and brown, and that is so insulting. I wish I'd said that, but I was, I'll be honest, I'm still trying to assuage others and make sure they're not uncomfortable. And also kind of save face a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna jump into that because I feel like in a way the community is already so small, so everyone talks and it's like oh, you're difficult.
Yeah,
to work with.
Just because I don't want to play a fucking henchman, but it is kind of not wanting to shoot myself in the foot.
And for other people's comfort.
Yeah, and for that. Which sucks because I was never going to hear from this person ever again. He added me on Facebook and I unfriended him immediately. I was like, oh, you just wanted to message me so you could.
That was a transaction.
Offer me the role of henchman. It's like, oh my God, bye. maybe, yeah, I did think about it. I was like, oh, well, maybe I should have auditioned if he'd had auditions, but he didn't have auditions. I was like, and also, a part of it was true. I was like, I can't commit to spending a whole day when I've got work at a place that I actually love. So, yeah, I didn't actually think about that part. So thanks for kind of acknowledging that. I never actually questioned why I had to do that, as opposed to be like, no, thank you, you asshole.
I think that's like, I asked because I've found myself do that in the past as well. Just like apologizing for like not having a boyfriend or like all this other weird shit. And now I'm just like, nah. I just like don't have time for people's shit anymore.
Awesome.
90% of the time.
Yeah, I feel
honestly.
like
Sometimes you're just like, the backlash is just not worth it.
yeah. I'm kind of like, I want this conversation to end very soon, so sure. Yep, that's exactly it. Goodbye.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want to be in your person anymore.
All right, so we've talked about the creative side in terms of support. What about the culture side and support? What does support look like from the Cook Island-Maori / your family supporting you from the culture side?
It's funny because I've never, before I guess the last couple of years, I never really felt, I think I said the other day, and the same is kind of true of the creative community, there are a lot of times where I'm part of these two communities but don't feel like I really am a part of them. And the strongest one of that has always been my culture. I've never, I can't hide from the fact that I am a Cook Island man. On the other hand, I have never felt like I am. I used to, again, apologize for it or kind of talk about it in the negative. But it was a couple of years ago when I was like, actually, I can't, this is a part of me, whether I like it or not. So what is this part of me? Sort of looking at it and acknowledging, okay, so this is what I look like. This is what my culture looks like. These are what my people look like. It's physically, emotionally, mentally. So, okay. Why am I still on the outside? Or feel like I'm on the outside? Because my sisters and mum and brother is there with their hands out. My cousins and aunts, some of my cousins and aunts are waiting at King Street First Church with their arms out. So why am I not taking them? So these people want me to be a part of this. So why am I not taking their hand and allowing myself to be? So yeah, the connection I have to my culture has grown like exponentially in the last few years. I have never felt more welcome in my own, personally felt more welcome in my own culture, in myself, than I have like my whole life. So it's real weird.
You're gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
That's pretty much it. So.
Peace.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait. So moving away from both those narratives, in terms of culture, what does culture mean to you, and what you define as culture?
Damn, that's a thinker. How do I define culture? What do I define as being culture? I don't know. Because cop-out answer is to say I don't know, because I've only just sort of discovered these parts of me, or rediscovered these parts of me. A big part of it for me is the indelibility of it. Like, it is so a part of me that I can't escape it. So why not acknowledge it? Why not allow to be pulled in by it? Which is how I feel about myself as the Cook Island man. It's how I feel about myself as a creative. So what is it to me? It's in me. It's this part of me that's there and has been there and will be there. So, like, just fucking accept it.
So wait, when you say that it's in you, are you talking about like your underlying philosophies, your values, and all the things that's hidden about the culture? Because culture is like, from the iceberg model, like culture is 10% is what you see. So you're looking at your language, but that's not attached to like an ethnicity or nationality. So the 10% that we can see is basically like food, everything that we can experience in the now. But like, are you talking about the inside in terms of the hidden philosophies and the underlying values? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. These you see a play that I've written, but yeah, I guess that's the 10%. But everything else underneath is shit. The motivation to write the thing, to craft the story, to live for these small moments, small pockets of time to live this story. It's kind of it's written into my code. It's strange because this might be a bit of a blanket statement, but I don't really subscribe to the idea that you pick up something and you learn. I mean, obviously you learn, but my feel is that this part has always been there. You are just re-acknowledging it and then learning and then growing it. I think I'm heading back to uni next year. I think, don't quote me on this.
Yeah, not on the podcast.
No,
This
not
is
at
a
all.
contract.
Yeah.
Sign your life away.
And I decided that what I wanted to be and what I've always felt I am is a teacher. So I'm like, cool, I'm going to finish my degree and then do the 1-year dip and then do what I was born to do. Not born to,
Can you do that without the degree and without the, like, can you create that or even facilitate workshops without that?
Yeah, and I have. Me and my bro, we do. But I think I want to go wider and actually work as. And it's something that's been in my code my entire life. It's been written in my genetic code. And I guess that's an example of what I think people, I guess there's this belief that something you're air quotes picking up isn't actually being picked up. You are acknowledging something and then growing that. Yeah, I yeah. I don't know. No, I'm not going to walk back on that. I'm going to be like, oh, I don't know. I don't really believe that. But yeah.
I can relate to that. Like, with photo, I just picked up the camera as a child and just kind of never put it down. Still, but it felt like a normal thing for me.
Yeah.
To just like pick it up and just walk around with the camera in my hand, and now I still do that all the time. And just like, I don't know, and that wasn't like I'm gonna learn how to do photo.
Yeah.
It was just this is fun.
Yeah.
It seems like something that I could do.
Yeah. Yeah. That was writing for me. That was yeah. Directing was, and being creative was always that sort of like, this is always something I've been, so why not keep going?
Have you written something that you're super proud to claim and put your name to, or like so far in your writing career or in your creative career, have you like done a piece of work that you're like, yup, that was the best of me?
It's a bit of a cheat to say I love all of my children.
No, it's not. That's you're putting yourself in your children, so I'm like, that's not a cheat.
I love all of them. I love the God, where do I start? My first play, which I love because it taught me what to do. I'm like, okay, cool. This Savage Review has helped me more as a writer than any amount of praise. My first full-length play, which I love because it tells the story of this is really weird science fiction comedy about this woman who finds out she's pregnant, like via her computer. But like, it's funny.
Yeah, we're gonna see some of this.
Yeah.
But it's funny and I love it, and I guess it's the one that it's the one that won me an award, which I love. But so that's one part. But something that I have a deeper, I guess more of a love for is what I guess I'm calling my unofficial kind of whānau trilogy.
Tell me more. What do you mean?
So the first, and it's unofficial because it's sort of like, oh, these are all personal family stories, so I guess they loosely fit into this. The first one is this musical comedy about racism that I co-wrote with my best friend, my brother, my Samoan brother, Anthony Paul Leono. We co-wrote this musical comedy. So that's one. Spot the Difference. That's what it's called. It's in the theatre community. We have, and this is not a flex or anything. It's a super weird flex, if anything. In the creative community, the words "spot the difference" are synonymous with us. People being compared to another person will say "spot the difference," Benny and Anthony, or make a joke around that because "spot the difference" actually was born from the fact that people used to mistake us for one another, which is weird.
Yeah, that's super weird. You guys don't even look alike.
Not at all. See, I
different heights, different face, different hair.
It's weird because I was with, even like walking around with his brothers one time. I got 2 times. Oh, are you shopping for your wife? I was like, and are you and your sons shopping for your wife? And I'm like, oh my God, no. Oh no, I'm not their dad. But another time I got brother as well. I was like, okay, cool. I'm fine with brother, even though we look nothing alike. I'm fine. I can work with brother. But yeah, people would mistake us. Like one time on the bus, I was catching the bus in Auckland, and guy getting off the bus was like, bro, can I take a selfie with you? I was like, yeah, sure. He took a selfie, and I was like, mean. I was like, cool. And then, like, as I got on and he was there, he was like, yeah, bro, yeah, nah, just saw DJ Forbes. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? What? So I went DJ Forbes a couple of times, and I'm like, I mean, I ain't mad, but also, what? Yeah, we get various random celebrities.
Wow.
So yeah, that. And then we decided to make it a musical.
Well, why not?
Make it more palatable. So it's that.
For that plain Jane taste bud out there.
So I guess the thing that ties these three plays together, 2.5 plays rather, together is that they're about family and music is a big part of them. So the second one is one that I'm super close to. It's called Akakite Mai Ita Autua, which means tell me a story, because it means tell me a story. And it was something I got to collaborate on with Jeremy and Horomona.
Oh, beautiful.
And like we got to create this piece. The concept was telling the story of my parents meeting, falling in love, moving to New Zealand, breaking up and coming back together again, and putting each of these 4 stories and recontextualizing them through the lens of like Maori and Polynesian mythologies. So my mom and dad meeting and falling in love, I kind of juxtapose with Hinemo and Tutanukai, which is funny because like dad did actually swim between their islands to see her. He actually would swim between their islands. I mean, that's what Mum says. Mum says that all the time. I think it's hilarious. The second one was about the moving, so that was Kupe and the navigators and the navigation. The third one is this Aitutakian myth about this maiden called Ta'akura, who is broken up with, and so she kills herself, throws herself on the rocks, and her voice leads sailors into the rocks to crash. And the fourth one, I kind of invented the story. So I created these 2 characters. My parents, my mom was the maiden, and my dad became the acolyte. Because also I had no idea Dad was a musician. Like, what? It's like, yeah, he plays guitar. I was like, I'm sorry, what? Oh, he's beautiful. Oh, ma, why are you not singing like that? I was like, oh my God, Mom, why are you not telling me this just now?
Wait, so you discovered that this year or last year?
Last year, yeah. I discovered all of these wonderful, weird things about my family, about my parents especially. I'm like, what? So I talked to them for a while, and they actually helped me with the language a lot, and being able to take this. The first time we did it, and I got to the end because it would switch between myself and the storyteller character I played. So I'd play myself and my parents, and then would switch into a story, turn to storyteller. And the last bit was not as this play version of me or the storyteller me. The last bit was of me talking about my own kind of the epilogue. And I'm trying to remember the last line, but I can't remember it for the life of me. And I got to one part, and so my mum and dad were in the front, and I made the awful mistake of looking at them. And I looked over them, and I could see Dad crying, because Mum just cries at anything.
Yeah, so you expected her to cry.
Oh, yeah. No. She, like, will cry at not even a sad bit of Home and Away. And she'll be like,
man, that is sad.
oh, Mum, shame. The Braxton brothers are fine. I don't know. Is that still I don't
know.
Cool.
I don't watch
Sweet.
it.
I've never watched Home and Away. I haven't watched it for easily 7 years. So, but like I made the awful mistake of looking at them, and then I just started bawling my eyes out, and I was just like, "The show isn't even finished yet." Oh my gosh! So I read out the last lines, and then bowed, and then everyone bowed, and I just turned to Jeremy. I was just like, "Give me a big boy hug." So it's definitely something that I feel a lot. I was honored to be able to not only work with these two incredible bros who are legit the diggity. I got to tell part of my parents' story. So it was very cool, and we did it again with the just after the terrorist attack. We did it again, and as a double bill with another show, and we ended up making a donation to the Momentum Foundation. But so we got to use the money from telling the story of my family to hopefully help family. So yeah, that's
Really
number
beautiful.
2. I've just been rambling about theatre. So yeah, my next one is about my siblings and me.
Wow, okay.
And that also is music. I built up a bomb playlist of like songs I listen to whenever I write. So I've got this playlist for this play I've sort of been like dabbling in for the last like 8 months. It's really hard to think it's a cool playlist because it's a kind of 90s retelling of the picture of Dorian Gray through the lens of a female protagonist, female Dorian Gray. So that's that. But for this next one, I got to relive all this awesome like 90s New Zealand R&B. Just like building this playlist and running scenes with this like songs playing. And I'm like, okay, this song is this scene. This song is this scene. So yeah, So there. I feel like I've been talking about my children for a while.
Well,
No,
you've got
interesting.
ears, and I feel like there's actually a lot of different pinpoints that you connect with actually what support could look like, and in a way that is uplifting your story as well as our collective story. Because to me, I'm listening and I'm like, damn, okay, so how do we tell stories that support our people?
I think that's exactly what you're doing, is you're giving a platform for young people like yourself, when you were 15, to see themselves represented in theatre, which is often very whitewashed.
And that's 100% the dream. Like, And
You're living it, man.
I'm not the only one too.
Yeah,
Like,
for real.
my friend Sian.
Oh,
Oh, of
Beautiful.
course.
Oh
my
my
friend
gosh.
Sian.
wow.
Thank you.
The
My
claim, boy.
friend.
That claim, though, that's my friend.
Yeah,
I,
Sian.
I photographed her show, and I was behind my camera bawling my eyes out trying to take photos of this beautiful, incredible show called Sorry for Your Loss. And it just like blew my mind, and I could hardly do my job like photographing the show because I was just like, this is amazing. This is so good. And I just like, oh, it was, yeah.
And to do that
Incredible.
right after such a beautiful, like, I don't even know. I don't have the words to say to talk about her journey, but her journey is amazing, and the fact that she could get up there and tell her story the way that she could, and knowing her journey was kind of like, to me, I'm like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I can't even. There's no words that I can say that can just
If you ever
strength,
get a chance, go
strength.
check it out. Any of her
Yeah.
work.
She's 100% one of the most beautiful, humble artists I've ever had the privilege of being able to see, create, and perform. But she's also so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like, she is grim. I don't know why I was going to be like, here's a meme I sent her. But, like, we send each other, every now and then, if I see her online on Messenger, I, like, send her a meme. I just be like, oh, here, incoming meme, or just, like, an ugly picture of me or something. Like,
That's a beautiful support system.
she, like, at work, at the Meteor, like, we've got our blackboard, and I walked out, and I see the words "Sian was here" written in chalk. Sian. She we after her first show for Toi Wahine, after the first show, we all had like a program, so just her face. We were out to her, I was like, Sian, sign our program, Sian. She was like, thank you. She's got mine. Sign it, sign it, sign it. We were like, oh my God, thank you. She just drew dicks on her face. I was like, she's like, thank you.
And she's so humble on that day. Like, the way she's presenting it.
She's just, oh my gosh. She's hilarious and unbelievably talented. And I also saw a play that she created with another good friend of mine, Karina. And they devised a play called Rauru. This beautiful play about two sisters going back to their nans. And like, oh my God, just funny and sad. And like, it was really cool because Sian and Karina both met in the Shakespeare that I did, the Maori and Pasifika
Oh,
one.
what? So that was when they first met?
Yeah. And I like to think that I kind of, I guess by virtue of being in this production, it gave them a platform to be like, oh, so I'm going to do this with you, Karina, thank you, bye. She was like, what? Karina, who is an unbelievably talented creator. But like, that was a show that, really solidified that this is what I was meant to do, to facilitate, to grow, to help.
What is all the topics that you feel are not being talked about right now that are in the furthest queue, aka the far queue, that needs to be brought up to the front and given the limelight? So from your experience and from your lived experience as well as your worldview, what are topics that are sitting in the back that need to be talked about on the front?
Fuck, I don't know. I don't want to just say everything.
A valid point.
Like, obviously, not everything. But there are still so many things that we think are where we've acknowledged, and these are fine, and these are things we're working on. That in reality we really aren't.
Wait, which one? So, it's what, like, give us some examples. Like, what do you mean?
For example, being queer and Polynesian, especially being queer and Polynesian in a creative world, that's also something that I've discovered about myself, is that I'm queer and Polynesian. I've always been Polynesian, but like, what does this, for myself, that's been something that's been sitting there. Like, cool, what does this look like for the rest of my family? What does this look like for the cultural community that I'm a part of? It's this topic I've been kind of hiding. And I know it's something that a lot of other young or around my age Pasifika men and women have been hiding. This topic that's been sitting there. So, boom, that's the first time I've talked about that in public. Dab.
Wow, congratulations. Well, I'm not even going to congratulate you because I feel like that's the old conditioning in me, but just wow.
Yeah, well, it's something that, fuck it, the bell's already been rung. And it's, you'll probably see, anyone listening, you'll probably see me struggling to think, because I'm like, it's a matter of perspective, which again sounds like a cheat, because this is a topic that's been sitting there in the back for a while. While it might not be the case for others in a similar position. I don't know.
Well, this is your lived experience, so I feel like you can only speak from yours. So I guess that's probably a priority for you, and you can claim that,
which is cool. It's cool. But like, I can't think of anything else because I feel like I need to say something profound.
No, not
like
at all.
I definitely need to say systemic racism.
Oh. That's what I thought you were going to jump into there when you were like these things that we're not like we're apparently approaching but we're not doing. And I thought you were going to give me that like example of being like racism because I feel like that's just an overarching conversation.
Yeah, no, we already know that. We already know it's not. Especially now.
But going off to that conversation that we were having just before coming in, I feel like the queer issues and the queer conversations actually, like, they're sitting in the shallow waters, especially for the Pacific community. Like, we've been here for a while. You know that like we're a part of your communities, we're a part of your families, we're your brothers and sisters and everything in between. But we're still uncomfortable in your spaces and we're always accommodating for your spaces. Yeah. So it's like that conversation, I feel like that is a priority for me in my space and in my worldview, because I'm so sick and tired of accommodating other people's feelings, other people's concerns and insecurities, just so I can be a brown body in the same space.
Yeah.
And that's ugly. Like, that's the fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on that?
It's funny because I've become, because we were talking before about switching. And switching for me has become less about hiding, suppressing, and more about this is how I feel in this moment. This is how I feel in this moment. This isn't me trying to accommodate you anymore. This is me being like, okay, well, now I'm with this group of friends of mine. I can be like, Vogue, da-da-da-da-da, kaboom.
Yeah.
Now that I'm with this clique, when I'm with this group of friends, I'm slightly hoarier. When I'm with my family, especially my Sevi family in Auckland, I'm super fresh. But these are all parts of me, and that was the important part was recognizing that these aren't
Separate entities.
these aren't mutually exclusive. These are all things that are me. So, like, don't hide it. And these are all people I am. These are all people I've learned to love as well. And yeah, that is something that's been sitting in the whākī for a while. That I've kind of brought up to the front. But also, it's funny about, you know, being in someone else's space, having to accommodate. And I moved into a flat recently with my 2 brand new flatmates, who I'm like, oh no, do I have to be in the closet again? Oh no. I don't know these guys, because where I was living, like, they're good friends, and I was kind of going on this journey, and I'm like, and we got there together, and I'm with these 2 people I don't know, and I'm like, oh my god. But those are 2 guys I really got along with. And so I got home from work, and they were having a couple of drinks, and I'm like, oh, you want a beer? And I drink but don't drink. I'm 100% 3 beers, like 3 nice kind of craft beers, and I'm good. That's me. But like, we were like having a drink, and one of the guy's girlfriends was there, and she had mentioned something, and then this is how this exchange went. Hey, Benny, yeah? Are you bi? Yeah. Okay. That was the conversation with my flatmates. That was it.
Even to this day?
Yeah. And then, like, every time we talk, they'll, like, drop something about, like, some regular lad chat about bloody women. And then one of them was just like, yeah, women, or men and women. I was like, thank you for acknowledging that.
That's cool.
It was weird. But yeah.
I guess that's them trying to be supportive.
Yeah, these like
Just
2
trying to be
guys
like,
who I don't know, who were like, and they didn't feel like they had to go over the top about it. It was like, oh, we're cool with it. They were just like, yeah, cool. Sweet.
That's amazing.
So good. Which is, I admit, like, lucked. That's like a rarity. Well, these are the guys where at our like initial flat like meeting, we're like, oh, do you want to move in? I was like, sure. I was like, oh, so you guys like me? And they were like, it's been an hour and a half, yeah. So I think we're good. But yeah, I'm going to like not having to not lie in these spaces, but if I'm going to make people feel comfortable, so I feel comfortable, I'm going to make sure it's shared. That I'm not just doing it for them.
Hard.
That I'm doing it for me as well. But also, I'm going to say some really weird shit. So, like,
Perfect.
Just letting the other person know I'm just going to be me, and me is kind of a disgusting slob. So enjoy.
All right. So
Great point to wrap up on. Disgusting slobs.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So can you please join us in doing our ending closing?
Oh wait, if anyone wants to connect with you, where can they find you? Online?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. They can @ me on Instagram. I'm Benny Knows All. That's basically all of my social. That's my Insta, my TikTok.
Oh, down with the youth.
Oh, you are so
Shit.
down
it's
with
not
it.
some good content. My most watched video is a video I made yesterday of Judith Collins. Yeah, it's got like, I'm just gonna double check now because it's had like 1,100 views. That's the most. Like, and I'll be honest, I'm hilarious. But yeah, at me on Instagram, at me on TikTok. Mine and my bro's theatre company also are on Facebook and Instagram.
What is it called?
We are Tahi Ta'i Tasi.
Tahi
Ta'i Tasi.
Okay, cool.
We'll link it all down below.
Yeah, that's because we wanted to be the emergency point of contact. If you're a POC creative, you're a queer creative, and you are looking for space, you are looking for support, then call us 111.
Yes.
Don't actually call one.
No, don't call, but call Tahi Ta'i Tasi.
We're looking for Benny.
Don't. As well as that, we also wanted to have a part of us in there. So Tahi acknowledged the land we're on, the space that we're able to create in Aotearoa. Ta'i, which is Cook Island for me.
Yes.
And Tasi, which is Samoan for Anthony. And also we really like 90s New Jack hip hop, like Tony Tone Tony. So we thought we'd do that as well.
Got it.
But I'll link you all the social.
Yeah, cool, sweet. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for sharing your experiences and your korero and whakaaro with us.
That's awesome. Sorry about rambling for
Don't
so
apologise.
much.
All good. All right, Joseph, hit us off. Oh, and you can follow us on Instagram at Fuck You Podcast.
Oh, do I?
Fuck You Podcast. All right. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Benny.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Bye.